Matt Dorf, Matt Mariacher, thank you for taking the time to do this.
No problem.
Anytime.
I say you guys have been on a pretty hectic road trip the past few weeks. How does it feel to come back home and take the mat for the final time this year in Bender?
It's definitely nice to be back. It's cool going on road trips, seeing a little bit of the country, especially going out to places like California and whatnot this year. But it's nice to be back where you're most comfortable and preparing in your own wrestling room.
Yeah, like in the past few weeks, we had a really good win so far. We upset at Binghamton. We beat Bucknell. We beat Central Michigan, which was the first time ever. So I feel confident enough that we will beat Virginia Tech or do really well.
I was gonna say, how was California? Because Teague told me that he prefers you guys go to a lot of road trips away from DC to sort of get you in the mood of nationals and all that.
Yeah, it's definitely it's kind of like practice matches, because in nationals you're usually not going to be too comfortable. You're usually somewhere you haven't ever wrestled before, so that's a totally different aspect. And you have to be able to compete at the highest level when you're the least comfortable. So it's good practice for the end of the year, but you always enjoy being home.
So how's the season going for you guys? Is it everything you expected or anything more?
Yeah, I mean, after Cody left, I felt like something would be different, but it's much better, I think, in my opinion. Teague's an excellent coach, and he's more interactive with us in practice, and all our teammates, especially Matt, are motivating us every day to keep going.
It's really funny that you mentioned that, because knowing you, Matt, you're probably one of the most quiet people I know.
Yeah, don't try to keep it a little bit low on the talking end, but try to be an example. But it's been a good year. I definitely agree with what he said with Teague. Everybody was, you're obviously going to be worried with change. Everybody's scared of change, but I don't think there's one person on the team that would say they're unhappy with the new coach. It's been it's really a blessing just to have him around and building a relationship with him and seeing him build relationships with the rest of the guys on the team, because it just creates an atmosphere where we're comfortable with everybody.
This is interesting, because you think with a new coach, you guys would take a step back, but it's more like you guys just sort of win ran while you guys finished last year.
Yeah, I totally agree. We've had changes, just like you said, but everybody's goals stay the same. So everybody's just been continually working at the same pace. And we're a pretty focused group, so it makes the transition easier.
Yeah.
What makes you guys so focused? Because for me, is it you find Teague more or less intimidating that he's smaller than both you guys?
Honestly, all I see is him as a national champion. I don't care about height, about anything. Just him being a national champion, and there's someone I want to follow. I want to be able to win national champion like he did. And Teague is one of the most organized individuals I've ever met. Compared to Cody, he is one of the most motivational, organized individuals I've ever met.
How does he prepare you, Matt, for bouts and all that?
Yeah, it's interesting you brought that up about the comparison of intimidation, because Cody's definitely he's a big dude, he's a beast, and he's kind of like a dad too, at the same time. But Teague, it's not much less, because for me personally, I get to wrestle with him every day in the practice room. So he does some beating up on me. So he has that same intimidation factor, because he's a fierce competitor, and he's got the credentials to go with it. So, but preparation-wise, I mean, that's another thing. Just being able to work out with my coach. I didn't have that opportunity with Cody. Not that it set me back at all, because he was able to provide for us in every other way. But being able to work out with Teague on a personal basis, where I can actually drill with him and go live with him, it's a totally different perspective that I wasn't able to have before. It's really easy to appreciate.
Your teammate Ryan Flores has been getting all this national attention of being undefeated. Just anything you could say about Ryan and the season he's had this year?
Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah.
He's fun to watch. We can always rely on him to get 6 points in a team, a duel, and he's a great teammate. Another guy who leads more, less from saying things, leads by example more, and busts his butt every day in practice, and on the mat. Some guys can't get it done on the mat when competition comes around, and he does. He goes out there and gives it 100% every time, and it's fun to watch, and especially with the attention he gets because he's number one. So he's always got somebody coming after him in a match. But every time he goes out and dominates, and just an entertaining competitor.
I totally agree. Ryan is so much fun to watch. Sometimes in practice, I would wrestle Ryan.
What's that like?
Well, I get beat, but when I wrestle Ryan, I feel like I see what moves he does, and just I never think about doing these moves. He just is an amazing wrestler. He has so much confidence and so much determination. Earlier this year, he actually ran some of our practices, and they were some of the best practices I've ever wrestled in. So I see him as a leader, as an excellent wrestler, and a role model to me.
All right, this Sunday, Bender Takedown, your last home match of the season. How important is it for you guys to go up against another ACC opponent? Because you guys did go against North Carolina State earlier this year.
Yeah. It's interesting because we obviously didn't wrestle amazing against North Carolina State. And I'm sure if North Carolina State wrestled Virginia Tech would kill them. But I totally think that we could beat Virginia Tech. It's not out of the question at all. We just had a bad match against North Carolina State, but we don't wrestle a lot of the ACC teams other than Maryland in that match against North Carolina State. But it'll be some interesting matchups. Virginia Tech's got a lot of ranked guys, so we just got to go out with the same attitude we have been past few dual meets, try and get it done.
And also, we have as much chance of being Virginia Tech as they are being us. Despite them having 2 top 10 wrestlers, we can still beat them. We have all our wrestlers, and they have so much determination, so much motivation that we can win.
All right, then after that, you guys go EIWAs and on to NCAAs. During a season, I know there's team duels and there's individual meets as well. When does it start sort of funneling down to, this is my time now, it's all up to individual?
Usually it's right after the last dual meet. It's usually the perspective where most of our teammates are always looking out for each other. So you see people helping each other out and kind of that team aspect a little bit, but you're right, it does focus more on individual efforts. When we go into practice, everyone has something different that they're working on in practice, which makes for a lot more focused practice. I don't want to say it gets more selfish, but definitely people are more focused on their individual goals, what they need to work on for the end of the year, because from that point on, it's not really as much team. Yeah, individual points count in the team race, but as long as everyone's focusing on what they need to do to be prepared for the matches, go out and win matches, the team stuff handles itself, which is nice. It takes a little bit of pressure off you when you're going out there.
After this dual meet, after Virginia Tech, it's going to be more focused on individual performance, but for me as a backup to Matt, my job will be to help him out. But we could do much better this year than last year, because some of the guys are doing better this year than last year. Everyone's wrestling better, I feel like. And we keep working harder and harder, and with Teague's helping us more with our individual situations to help us out.
All right, Matt Mariacher, Matt Dorf, thank you so much for taking time to do this. Best luck for you guys on Sunday and the rest of the season.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.